With the 2023 NBA draft just a few days behind us, it's time for my official reaction to each pick in the draft, and what I grade each pick. This draft definitely came with some surprises, and some things were expected, which is why each year the NBA draft is so special. So in today's video, I'll be grading each of the 30 picks in the 2023 draft, and giving my reaction to each pick. With that being said, let's dive straight into the video. The first pick in the draft, selected by the San Antonio Spurs, Victor Wembanyama, gets an A+. Victor Wembanyama, the 7'4" forward from France, is a highly anticipated prospect who drew a lot of comparisons to LeBron James for being exceptional prospects with versatile skill sets. With an 8-foot wingspan and impressive agility for his size, Wembanyama has the potential to become a true NBA star if he can maintain good health. The San Antonio Spurs, known for their success in drafting and developing talent, capitalized on their opportunity to select Victor. This marks the third time in franchise history that the Spurs have secured the number 1 overall pick, following the selections of David Robinson and Tim Duncan, who are both Hall of Famers. Wembanyama's unique skill set, which includes the ability to shoot from beyond the three-point line, makes him a standout player unlike anybody in this league. As the tallest and longest player in the NBA next season, standing at 7'5" with an 8-foot wingspan, Wembanyama is an agile athlete who can excel on both ends of the court. He possesses dominant shot blocking and finishing abilities, but also demonstrates proficiency on both ends of the floor and the perimeter. Barring any major injuries, Wembanyama is expected to become the next international superstar to make a significant impact in the NBA. There aren't many prospects like Victor that come around too often, and whenever a franchise selects a guy like him, that's an easy A+. He's a guy that the Spurs will look to center every move around, and this pick has the potential to be the greatest draft pick of all time, earning them an easy A+. The second pick in the draft, selected by the Charlotte Hornets, Brandon Miller, gets an A. While there were some concerns about his lean build and off-the-court issues in college, his size and shot-making abilities were attractive to the team. Prior to the NCAA tournament, Miller showcased his shooting skills by shooting over 40% from beyond the arc on 7 attempts per game. The Hornets, who struggled with three-point shooting this past season, saw Miller as a potential solution to their perimeter scoring woes. His size and consistent shooting could complement LaMelo Ball's playmaking abilities. Despite being rated lower than Scoot Henderson in the draft, Miller was considered a better fit for Charlotte due to Ball's presence as the team's point guard. Miller is seen as a promising prospect with impressive passing and ball handling skills, but his lack of elite athleticism may limit his upside. If he can maintain his shooting efficiency, the Hornets are unlikely to regret selecting him. However, if his shooting slips to league average levels, questions arrive about the overall value of his game. Considered a clean fit in Charlotte, Miller embodies the qualities teams look for in a modern forward. With his shot-making ability, ball handling skills, and passing vision, he has the potential to become a top offensive option. However, he needs to work on creating separation from NBA defenders and improve his strength to maximize his defensive versatility. Playing alongside LaMelo Ball will alleviate some of his playmaking responsibilities and allow him to develop gradually. On top of this, Ball will be able to set up Miller in a ton of situations, and alongside Miles Bridges and PJ Washington, Miller fits in perfectly. The one critique I can make about this pick is I do feel that Scoot Henderson was the better player of the two, so I still have mixed feelings about the selection, but despite that, Miller has a chance to be a franchise-altering player, which is why I give this pick an A. The third pick in the draft, selected by the Portland Trailblazers, Scoot Henderson, gets an A+. He's a turbocharged league guard who draws comparisons to explosive playmakers like Russell Westbrook and Derrick Rose. Henderson's tenacity, competitiveness, and ability to electrify the crowd makes him a valuable asset. While his lack of size may target him on defense, his hustle and competitiveness compensate for it. Scoot's ceiling is incredibly high, and he could be a tremendous value at number 3. He's super fast and a super strong point guard who excels in scoring in the mid-range and making advanced passing reads in the pick and roll. However, he needs to improve on his three-point shooting and defensive skills. Despite the excitement around Henderson, there are some concerns about how he will fit alongside Damian Lillard and Anthony Simons. Some believe that Henderson's arrival might put Lillard or other Blazers on trade watch. Nevertheless, Henderson is considered an incredible prize at the number 3 pick. With this selection, the Blazers add a high-quality building block to their roster alongside Shaedon Sharpe and accelerate the rebuilding process without having to trade Lillard. If the Blazers end up trading Lillard, Scoot will be the face of the franchise, and they'll have an opportunity to build around a guy who most analysts perceive to be a prospect that could have been selected number 1 in any other draft. Personally, I feel like the Blazers should trade Lillard after he had a career year, and in return, get some great young players along with a boatload of draft capital to build a well-rounded roster around Scoot Henderson and Shaedon Sharpe. Whenever there's a consensus top 3 in a draft, the third team almost always has the easiest pick, and whether they trade Scoot or keep him, this pick is an easy A+. The fourth pick in the draft, selected by the Houston Rockets, Amen Thompson, gets an A. Amen is regarded as one of the top athletes in the entire NBA right now. He possesses exceptional physical gifts, including anti-gravity bounce, incredible acceleration, and impressive hang time. His athleticism makes him a nightmare in transition, and he's a strong on-ball defender and off-ball playmaker, consistently generating steals and blocks. However, Thompson's main weakness lies in his shooting ability. He struggles to score outside of the paint and may find it challenging to navigate half-court offense, especially against tough defenders. Despite this limitation, his exceptional passing skills make him a potential top-tier table setter and defensive stopper in this draft class. Houston was an ideal landing spot for Thompson, as they needed a playmaking point guard and already have proficient shooters like Jalen Green and Jabari Smith Jr. Standing at 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan and exceptional athleticism, Thompson's upside is undeniable. His ability to drive to the rim and create opportunities compensate for his shooting deficiencies, but he will need to develop a reliable mid-range jumper, improve his perimeter shooting, and free throw shooting to reach his full potential. As Houston looks to not only rebuild their team, but their culture as well, the first step was hiring Ime Udoka as the new head coach, who will instill toughness into Houston. But with the addition of Thompson, the Rockets get arguably the most versatile defender besides Wemby in the draft, and can look to make an immediate impact on that end of the floor from day one, which is why I give this pick an A. The 5th pick in the draft, selected by the Detroit Pistons, Ausar Thompson, gets a B. Thompson brings a strong athletic presence to the team. As an elite athlete, he showcases explosive abilities. Although slightly behind his twin brother Amen, Ausar excels as a finisher rather than a creator and displays good rebounding skills for his position. He also shows potential as a versatile defender, both on and off the ball. Compared to his brother, Ausar is considered the better shooter, although his shot still requires significant improvement. This becomes a critical factor for his success in the modern NBA, as non-shooting wings who play off the ball face limited opportunities. The Pistons lack a stretch big man to alleviate spacing concerns, making Thompson's shooting ability a significant swing skill. While some view the selection of Ausar as a potential reach, as he's perceived as a lesser prospect compared to Amen, there are positive aspects to his game. He's a well-rounded player and exhibits more progress as a shooter than his brother. Ausar's disciplined defense, effective ball handling, and higher shooting potential make him a valuable addition to the Pistons. However, the team's shooting weakness alongside players like Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, and Jalen Duren raise concerns about the fit and pressure for Thompson to contribute to floor spacing. Despite the shooting concerns, Thompson provides immediate athleticism, strong passing ability, and versatility on defense. He can play as a guard in various positions and prefers an up-tempo style of play. Alongside Cunningham and Ivey, the fit is questionable, but Ausar's improved perimeter shooting allows him to slide in as a wing player. Detroit possesses a roster filled with high upside talent, but the development of Thompson and Ivey's shooting skills will be crucial to maximize the team's potential, and for that, he gets a B. The 6th pick in the draft, selected by the Orlando Magic, Anthony Black, gets a B+. The Magic already have a surplus of point guards, but they chose Black because they believed he was the best player available, prioritizing talent over positional need, which is always important in the top of the draft. As a 6'7" point guard, Black is highly regarded for his basketball IQ and understanding of the game. He has a natural ability to read and anticipate plays, which gives him an advantage on both ends of the floor. His size as a floor general allows him to see and distribute the ball effectively, making him a valuable playmaker. While Black possesses many desirable qualities, there are some concerns. He lacks a reliable shooting stroke and isn't particularly elusive as a ball handler. These weaknesses raise questions about his ability to run an NBA offense effectively. Despite these concerns, his combination of size, intelligence, and skill make him an enticing prospect. Black's defensive versatility is one of his standout attributes. The Orlando Magic will need to address their shooting deficiencies, especially with the addition of Black alongside Paulo Banchero and Franz Wagner. The team could potentially be facing spacing issues unless their core players improve their jump shots. Nevertheless, Black's passing ability and switchable defense make him a valuable asset for any team, particularly in playoff scenarios. One area where Black has shown promise is his improved shooting during the draft process. If he can continue to develop his shooting stroke, he has potential to be one of the top players in this draft class. Overall, while there may be some concerns, Anthony Black's size, basketball IQ, and defensive abilities make him a promising addition to Orlando. I do feel like there could have been other avenues that the Magic could have taken, but they really wanted Black. I feel like they could have traded down from this pick to get him, or up from the 11th pick, but I'm still fond of his game and like that they chose the best player available, which is why he gets a B+. The 7th pick in the draft, selected by the Indiana Pacers, but then traded to the Washington Wizards, Bilal Coulibaly, gets a C+. First major surprise of the draft starts here. While Coulibaly's stock may have been rising recently, it was completely unprecedented for him to be chosen this high. However, this doesn't automatically make it a bad pick. Coulibaly is considered a legitimate prospect with notable talent. He benefited from playing alongside Wembanyama, which gave him extra exposure. Scouts are more excited about his long-term potential than his immediate impact, but he possesses NBA-ready strength, length, and explosiveness. Primarily seen as a 3-and-D wing player, Coulibaly has the potential to become a high-level shot maker and creator in the future. However, he currently lacks offensive seasoning and will require time to develop his skills. He's an intriguing long-term prospect, and the Wizards, who are in rebuild mode, are in need of such players. Coulibaly is an exceptional athlete with a 7'2" wingspan and the potential to become an outstanding defender as well. Nevertheless, he's far from being NBA ready right away and is one of the rawest prospects in this draft. The Wizards made this pick with a long-term perspective, as they don't expect to be in a competitive field anytime soon. Overall, Bilal Coulibaly is a high-risk, high-reward selection for the Wizards. While he has shown improvements and possesses impressive physical and athletic attributes, he lacks experience in high-level basketball. The pick could have been made a few spots back, but it aligns with the team's long-term vision amid their rebuild phase. But it does raise a lot of questions in my mind, which is why I give it a C+. The 8th pick in the draft, selected by the Washington Wizards but then traded to the Indiana Pacers, Jarace Walker, gets an A-. At 6'7" with a linebacker-like build, Walker's defensive potential stands out the most, while filling by far the biggest need for the team at power forward. He possesses the agility to guard guards and the strength to battle against bigger opponents. Pairing him with Miles Turner in the front court could create a formidable defensive duo that would trouble opponents. Offensively, Walker is known for his ability to disrupt the game with steals, blocks, and quick rebounds, showcasing his playmaking skills. He's also an effective finisher and passer, making him a valuable pick-and-roll screener. However, there are some concerns about his shooting consistency. While his three-point shooting percentage of 34.7% at the collegiate level seems decent, his 66.3% free throw percentage raises some doubts. Walker's potential as a shooter could make this draft pick a home run for the Pacers. Even without significant improvement in his shooting, he still appears to be a good fit for the team. With his defensive prowess and the presence of other shooters on the roster, Walker's offensive limitations can be mitigated. Overall, Walker's a powerful forward with great defensive abilities, connective passing skills, and some scoring ability. He complements Miles Turner well as a shot blocker and provides additional wing stopper abilities. Although he may lack some offensive production, the Pacers roster can compensate for this. The combination of Tyrese Haliburton, Benedict Mathurin, Miles Turner, and Walker has the potential to make them a formidable team on both ends of the floor, which is why I give this pick an A-. The 9th pick in the draft, selected by the Indiana Pacers, Taylor Hendricks, gets an A-. Standing at 6'9", Hendricks brings a versatile skill set that allows him to excel on both ends of the floor. She's primarily a 3-and-D forward, capable of playing 3 through 5 on both offense and defense. Offensively, he possesses a smooth shooting stroke from beyond the arc and possesses the ability to beat defenders off the dribble. Defensively, he offers shot blocking prowess and the agility to guard perimeter players effectively. While Hendricks needs to improve his strength, his potential as a valuable contributor is evident. One area for development is his individual scoring ability to exploit mismatches when smaller defenders switch onto him. The Jazz had the opportunity to take a higher risk, high reward prospect, but the fit with a front court consisting of Hendricks, Lauri Markkanen, and Walker Kessler appears promising. Hendricks offers a bright future for the team. At 6'9", Hendricks brings shot blocking ability and three-point shooting to the table. While he may not possess exceptional shot creation skills, he possesses the qualities that can enhance team building strategies for a Jazz roster currently undergoing a rebuild. It remains to be seen if he can handle significant minutes at center alongside Markkanen, but his finishing ability near the rim and floor stretching capabilities will be valuable no matter where he fits into the lineup. On top of him having a high ceiling, his high floor makes him one of the safest picks in this draft, which is why he gets an A-. The 10th pick in the draft, selected by the Dallas Mavericks but later traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder, Cason Wallace, gets a C+. I love Cason Wallace's game, but this move was very interesting. The Thunder's history of accurately assessing prospects suggests that they may have made a smart choice. Despite his 6'2" frame, Wallace's 6'8" wingspan and relentless defense allows him to play bigger and disrupt passing lanes effectively. While his offensive skills are a bit inconsistent, guards from Kentucky often develop their games at the professional level. Wallace takes good care of the ball and displays solid scoring touch from mid-range to the rim, but he needs to improve his creation ability, shooting range, and off-the-dribble scoring. It's worth noting that Oklahoma City already has established guards in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Josh Giddey, which raises questions about how well Wallace will fit in. However, the Thunder can afford to take a chance on his potential given their current roster. Wallace's elite defensive abilities, quick hands, and lower body strength make him an excellent complementary guard. While not a traditional point guard, he can contribute as a spot-up shooter and secondary playmaker. The Thunder now have a promising young core of tough defenders and capable shooters, including Shai, Giddey, Chet Holmgren, and Jalen Williams, along with Cason Wallace. It remains to be seen how all these guards will fit in together, considering the abundance of backcourt players on the team. Wallace's offensive improvement and potential make this selection interesting. It raises curiosity about Sam Presti's future plans for the team, which is why I give this pick a C+. The 11th pick in the draft, selected by the Orlando Magic, Jet Howard, gets a C. The team was in need of shooting, and although they had previously picked Anthony Black, who didn't fully address that need, they chose Howard to fill the gap. While Howard has the NBA pedigree as the son of his college coach, Juwan Howard, and possesses the necessary size, shooting skills, and basketball IQ to have a successful career, he falls short in terms of athleticism and defensive abilities, which could limit his effectiveness on that end of the court. Howard was a prospect projected to go in the late teens and early 20s. With some great options available for the Magic, they decided to take a major reach on Howard. I'm not against the fact they took Jet at all, but I believe that if they really loved his game, they could have made a trade down to get him later. I believe there were better shooting options available like Grady Dick or Jordan Hawkins. But overall, the selection of Howard was seen as a puzzling one, with many expecting him to be chosen later in the draft. However, it does align with the Magic's roster plans, and despite his inconsistencies in college, Howard does offer potential, and this pick provides Orlando with a shooter, complementing their promising core, and while it was surprising, it was generally favored by some analysts. But this pick is probably the biggest head scratcher in the draft, which is why I give it a C. The 12th pick in the draft, selected by the Oklahoma City Thunder, but then traded to the Dallas Mavericks, Derek Lively, gets a B. Lively, the center from Duke, didn't fully live up to his expectations in his freshman year at college, causing him to be ranked just outside the top 30 on the draft board just a month ago. Lively had an outstanding pre-draft process from workouts to interviews, pro days, and more, which boosted his stock tremendously. Nonetheless, the Mavericks addressed their need for size and shot blocking, which complements the presence of Luka Doncic and potentially Kyrie Irving in the lineup. If the Mavericks had kept their original pick at number 10, they likely would have chosen Lively, thus acquiring him while also offloading the salary owed to Davis Bertans, showcases the shrewdness of this front office. Lively's game might not particularly be flashy, but he excels in certain aspects. He fits the mold of a rim-running center, making his mark as a frame protector, capable defender switcher, transition runner, and effective finisher at the rim. However, what makes him intriguing is the possibility of elevating his game beyond the typical role of a center, focused on dunks. He already exhibits skill as a smooth passer, and there are indications that he could develop into a shooter. Having a shot blocker like Lively becomes crucial when opposing players blow past Kyrie's defense. He matches the expectations set during his high school days as an elite rim protector, but he also possesses the potential to excel as a pick-and-roll big man, on top of having an improving jumper and switchability on both ends of the court. Considering the Mavericks need a big man, they secured the best option in the draft outside of Wembanyama. While Lively's performance at Duke was modest, he should find more opportunities playing alongside Luka Doncic in Dallas. The Mavericks anticipate his eventual dominance in the interior, fulfilling their positional requirement. Overall, it's a solid pick, and its evaluation will significantly improve if Lively fulfills his potential, which is why I gave this pick a B. The 13th pick in the draft, selected by the Toronto Raptors, Grady Dick, gets a B+. Known as one of the best shooters in the draft, Dick possesses a quick release, deep range, and impressive shooting versatility. He excels at sprinting around screens, quickly positioning himself to hit shots. Despite not being a standout defender, he has proven his defensive capabilities in both high school and college. The Raptors, in need of improved shooting, made a strategic choice selecting Grady Dick. Toronto struggled significantly with three-point shooting in the previous season, making Grady's shooting ability highly valuable. He's expected to receive substantial playing time due to his ability to contribute in that area. Furthermore, his offensive capabilities extend beyond shooting, as he possesses solid creation, cutting, finishing, and secondary playmaking skills. However, his defensive weaknesses, including limited strength and lateral quickness, make him vulnerable to targeted attacks. The Raptors prioritize length combined with skill, making Grady an ideal fit in their roster. Overall, considering his skill set, value, and fit with the team, Grady Dick appears to be a favorable pick by the Toronto Raptors, which is why he gets a B+. 14th pick in the draft, selected by the New Orleans Pelicans, Jordan Hawkins, gets a B+. Known for his exceptional shooting ability, Hawkins proved to be a valuable asset during UConn's national championship and was arguably their best player. He displayed an ability to hit difficult shots off screens, making him an impressive movement shooter. Although there are concerns about his physicality and defensive capabilities, alongside CJ McCollum's, Jordan's shooting prowess is undeniable. Playing alongside Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram, he'll be a great fit on the Pelicans roster, providing floor spacing and complementing the team's star players. Besides for shooting, Hawkins doesn't really contribute anywhere else. His overall skill set is limited, while he lacks defensive versatility, playmaking ability, and on-ball creation potential. It's worth noting that drafting a specialist without an ideal size in the lottery can be questionable. Nonetheless, Hawkins' shooting ability will be invaluable for the Pelicans, especially in providing breathing room for Zion Williamson. While he needs to improve his defensive presence by adding muscle to his frame, his shooting alone makes him an instant impact player. With the right development, Hawkins has the potential to have a successful NBA career and make a major contribution to this Pelican squad, which is why this pick gets a B+. The 15th pick in the draft, selected by the Atlanta Hawks, Kobe Buffkin, gets an A. While the Hawks may not have initially targeted a guard, they recognized the opportunity to acquire a talented player with great value. Buffkin's stock rose significantly leading up to the draft, and he showcased consistent improvement throughout his college career. In his final 8 games for the Wolverines, Bufkin demonstrated his scoring prowess by averaging an impressive 19.3 points while shooting high percentages of 51.9% from the field, 45% from beyond the arc, and 89.7% from the free throw line. As a true combo guard, he possesses the abilities to lead the offense or make valuable contributions off the ball. He brings defensive aptitude that complements Trae Young on the court, possesses enough shooting ability to play alongside DeJounte Murray, and exhibits playmaking skills that allow him to run the offense when needed, while also being one of the most elite shot creators in the entire draft. Standing at 6'5", he excels as a finisher around the rim, displays proficiency as a three-point shooter, and impressive on-ball defense. While not an elite athlete, Bufkin's well-rounded skill set makes him a valuable asset. It'll be intriguing to see how all 3 of these players can effectively play together, adding an extra dimension to the team's lineup. But if the Hawks choose to move in a direction away from DeJounte Murray and Young, Bufkin could be the face of a rebuild in Atlanta. Overall, considering Bufkin's potential and the value obtained by selecting him at the 15th spot, the Hawks made a strong draft choice, which is why he gets an A. The 16th pick in the draft, selected by the Utah Jazz, Keontae George, gets a B. George possesses strong shooting skills both off the catch and off the dribble, shows potential as a playmaker and passer. However, he needs to work on his defensive footwork. Although the Jazz may not have an immediate need for backcourt scoring, George's addition addresses a potential future need. With Jordan Clarkson likely entering free agency and Colin Sexton's name appearing in trade rumors, Utah has taken a proactive step in securing George's talents. George is a confident scorer who excels at creating separation and shooting under pressure. However, his efficiency suffers as he occasionally takes ambitious shots. It would be beneficial for him to improve his shooting percentages, as they currently stand at 37.6% from the field and 33.8% from three-point range during his time at Baylor. Defensively, George competes well, but his lack of size at 6'4" and 185 pounds limits his ability to guard larger opponents when playing as an off guard. If he transitions to a point guard role, he needs to enhance his playmaking skills. In college, he averaged more turnovers and assists. George's game has some flaws that may initially limit his playing time. However, his fit with the Jazz appears promising. He offers upside both on and off the ball, showcasing his shooting abilities from various positions on the court. While George may lack exceptional athleticism for easy rim finishes, he's a well-rounded guard prospect that aligns with Utah's rebuilding plans. Jazz will appreciate his offensive identity as a shot creator, especially if he ends up in the backcourt with Colin Sexton. Additionally, his selection represents great value as he was projected to go as high as the middle of the lottery at one point. Overall, the Jazz made a smart move in drafting Keontae George, considering the potential and team's future needs, which is why this pick gets a B. 17th pick in the draft, selected by the Los Angeles Lakers, Jalen Hood-Schifino, gets a B+. Known for his ability to play a supporting role, Hood-Schifino brings valuable skills to the team. However, his scoring and shooting can be inconsistent, which may pose as a challenge for the Lakers. While the team needed to address their playmaker needs, this draft is a step in the right direction. Hood-Schifino's physical presence and basketball IQ are apparent, making him an impressive playmaker on the court. His ability to manipulate defenses, particularly in ball screen situations, is a valuable asset. Additionally, he showcases a strong work ethic on defense and maintains focus even when he's not in possession of the ball. Fino's displayed flashes of brilliance but lacks consistency, especially as a primary creator. To solidify his role on the team, he needs to develop a more reliable jump shot or improve his spot-up shooting if he transitions to an off-ball position. The presence of established stars like LeBron James and Anthony Davis further raises the bar for Hood-Schifino's playing time, making it essential for him to enhance his shooting prowess. Standing at an impressive 6'6", Hood-Schifino possesses the potential to make an impact in the pick-and-roll game. Nonetheless, if his shooting improves, he can be a valuable asset for the Lakers. Given the Lakers' apparent need for a guard, Hood-Schifino has the opportunity to assume a significant role right away from the start. With a team unlikely to sign D'Angelo Russell, Jalen's skills in the pick-and-roll game could complement Anthony Davis effectively. However, his progress hinges on becoming a more consistent shooter, as that will truly unlock his potential. Learning from seasoned veterans like LeBron and Anthony Davis will undoubtedly be beneficial for Hood-Schifino, which is why this pick gets a B+. The 18th pick in the draft, selected by the Miami Heat, Jaime Jaquez Jr., gets a C+. Although his selection as a top 20 pick was somewhat unexpected, Jaquez's fit with the Heat culture and playing style is evident. He's known for his toughness and strong work ethic qualities that align perfectly with the Heat's renowned culture. While primarily playing as a small ball four in college, Jaime will need to work on expanding his perimeter skills, particularly his shooting. Miami prioritized immediate impact over long-term potential with Jaquez's selection. Despite his age and college experience limiting his upside, he possesses a well-rounded skill set that includes excellent distributing and defensive abilities. His strong work ethic and exceptional footwork, reminiscent of Kevin McHale, suggest a promising post-game. Although he may face athletic disadvantages, Hawkes' versatility and commitment make him a valuable addition to the Heat system. Hawkes' mid-range shooting skills make him an instant rotational option, and he's projected as a low-maintenance wing player. While he has some concerns as a perimeter shooter and ball handler, his overall contribution to the team outweighs these shortcomings. The Heat drafted him for his ability to seamlessly fit into their system and make an immediate impact. There were other prospects available in this draft, such as Cam Whitmore and Chris Murray, who some believe could have been a better fit for the Heat. However, Hawkes' selection aligns with the team's recent finals appearances and their desire for a pro-ready player. While his selection may raise some eyebrows, Hawkes' contributions to the team are expected to be significant, warranting a solid C+ grade. The 19th pick in the draft, selected by the Golden State Warriors, Brandon Podziemski, gets a B-. Podziemski, a former Illinois transfer, showcases impressive shooting ability both off the catch and dribble during his college career. While he lacks ideal athleticism and length, his skills as a shooter, playmaker, and elusive creator stood out during his pre-draft process. Although his physical tools have limitations, particularly in terms of defending speedy guards and bigger opponents, Podziemski compensates with his high basketball IQ and ability to position himself effectively on the court. His shooting stroke is a notable asset that will thrive alongside established scorers like Steph Curry, Chris Paul, and Klay Thompson, as opponents focus their defensive efforts on stopping them. Podziemski's journey to success saw him transferring to Santa Clara after struggling to find playing time as a freshman at Illinois. The 6'5" guard blossomed into a star, displaying remarkable scoring efficiency, including an impressive 43.8% from three-point range. Additionally, he contributes as a quality rebounder and excels as a connective passer, making him a valuable asset in the Bay. His proficiency as a shooter aligns perfectly with the Warriors' offensive system, especially considering their need for additional shooting after trading Jordan Poole for Chris Paul. My question is, how will he fit with the overhaul of guards in Golden State, and how will he be able to garner playing time? And because of that, this pick gets a B-. The 20th pick in the draft, selected by the Houston Rockets, Cam Whitmore, gets an A+. Considered a top 5 talent, he possesses exceptional athleticism and has made significant improvements in his shooting abilities during his time at Villanova. Despite Whitmore's unexpected fall in the draft due to medical concerns, the Rockets find themselves celebrating this steal. Originally thought to be a potential pick at number 4, his presence alongside fellow talent Amen Thompson and the existing young roster could propel Houston into a position of abundance sooner rather than later. If not for the Thompson twins, Cam would have likely been considered the most impressive athlete available. However, the Rockets' selection of both Thompson and Whitmore presents an ideal scenario. Thompson's passing prowess can compensate for Whitmore's weaknesses, while Whitmore's shot-making skills can mitigate any concerns surrounding Thompson's game. Houston had an exceptional night with these picks. With his 6'7" frame, explosive athleticism, and developing three-point shot, he possesses immense talent. While his passing and court visions are areas that require improvement, his young age suggests that he has room to grow in these aspects. However, securing such a talented player at the number 20 pick is an incredible achievement. Whitmore's athleticism and two-way abilities make him a valuable building block for the future of the franchise, and since he was considered a top 5 talent coming into the draft night, this pick is an easy A+. The 21st pick in the draft, selected by the Brooklyn Nets, Noah Clowney, gets a B-. This pick is a gamble with high potential, as the Nets aim to balance rebuilding and playoff contention. Without many future draft picks of their own, Clowney brings valuable attributes such as size, rebounding, and defensive skills, along with the potential for three-point shooting. This intriguing aspect caught the attention of teams, and if he develops this skill, it'll prove to be a smart choice. Addressing the Nets' need for size, choosing Clowney at this point made sense. While he is a project, the uncertain state of the team called for the bet of his upside. If the Nets successfully nurture Clowney's development and display patience throughout the process, they may have found themselves a versatile defender and an excellent screen setter. Should Clowney's offensive game progress to the point where he can coexist with Nick Claxton on the court, the Nets' frontcourt will become an intriguing and relentless defensive force. Despite his youth and rawness, Noah's potential is evident if he reaches his ceiling. Standing at 6'10", he primarily operates as a power forward, but can also contribute as a center. However, he must focus on building strength and refining his technique at both ends of the court. The Alabama freshman displayed glimpses of floor spacing ability, showing his willingness to shoot from beyond the arc. His selection fills the void in the Nets' frontcourt depth, and this pick could be a great pick down the road, which is why it gets a B-. The 22nd pick in the draft, selected by the Brooklyn Nets, Dariq Whitehead, gets an A-. Despite his setbacks, Whitehead has shown impressive development as a shooter, indicating his potential to contribute significantly to the team's perimeter game. The Nets have a long-term success strategy in place, and they understand the need for a major boost to compete for a championship in the future. Whitehead's selection aligns with this approach, as his untapped potential presents an opportunity for a bargain or a risk due to his previous foot injury. Whitehead's skill set is highly intriguing, particularly considering his athleticism, shot-making abilities, and potential for growth that he displayed in high school. Although his time at Duke primarily focused on his 3-and-D attributes, the Nets believe he can surpass expectations and return to his high school form. Tariq successfully transformed his game as a reliable shooter, converting 43% of his attempts as a freshman from beyond the arc. While concerns persist about his medical history, the Nets' decision to select Whitehead demonstrates their belief in his ability to regain his explosiveness and contribute significantly to the team. With consecutive first-round picks, including Whitehead, the Nets have made a strategic investment in their future, despite his freshman season at Duke being plagued by injuries. Whitehead's undeniable potential as a 3-level scoring threat makes this pick deserving of an A-. The 23rd pick in the draft, selected by the Portland Trail Blazers, Kris Murray, gets an A-. Kris is a skilled and intelligent offensive player from Iowa. Despite his shooting percentages not fully reflecting his abilities, Murray's an excellent floor spacer and possesses the versatility to be a switchable and a strong role player. For the Blazers, who are aiming to build a winning team around Damian Lillard, it's crucial to find players who contribute to their success. Murray has the potential to make an immediate impact in this regard. While NBA fans may recognize him as the identical twin brother of Keegan Murray, last year's number 4 pick for the Sacramento Kings, Kris differs in athleticism and high-end outcomes. Although Murray is expected to secure a spot in Portland's rotation from the start, competing for a starting position could prove to be challenging. His lack of speed, limited creation ability, and vulnerability to physicality might hinder his progress. Nevertheless, he embodies the essence of a support piece, which is indispensable for a winning roster. At the professional level, Kris is projected to be a reliable 3-and-D wing, albeit slightly less proficient as a shooter compared to his brother, and with a slightly lower athletic profile. This pick guarantees a high floor, ensuring Murray's longevity as a rotational wing in this league. Given the context of the Blazers' objective to surround Damian Lillard with win-now pieces, Murray's selection is a logical fit. His ability to defend multiple positions and knock down three-pointers make him a plug-and-play guy who could contribute immediately, which is why this pick gets an A-. The 24th pick in the draft, selected by the Dallas Mavericks, Olivier Maxence Prosper, gets an A. The team aimed to bolster their defense around star players like Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. Prosper not only provides on that end of the floor, but also is a spot-up shooter, making him an ideal fit. With experience in a supporting role in college, Prosper is accustomed to playing alongside top-tier players. Omax is a high-energy forward, with an improving three-point shot, seamlessly complementing Doncic on the wing, and providing a much-needed defensive presence. Dallas prioritized adding defensive-minded players in their front court, crucial for supporting their strong backcourt. Prosper's length, athleticism, and relentless motor makes him a nightmare for opponents on defense. He has the potential to become a leader in hustle stats if he earns a starting role. While Prosper's offensive game is still developing, his outside shooting will be a key factor in his growth. Prosper has emerged as a standout during the pre-draft process, impressing with his measurements and performance in scrimmages. With his impressive size for a forward, developing three-point shot, and relentless energy on both ends of the court, he'll make an immediate contribution as a rebounder and wing stopper for the Mavericks. He's a perfect fit for the team's roster considering Dallas' needs for a skilled and energetic forward. Overall, Omax's selection as the 24th pick deserves an A grade because he strengthens the team's defense and complements their star players. The 25th pick in the draft, selected by the Detroit Pistons, Marcus Sasser, gets a C. The team was in need of perimeter shooting, and Sasser's ability to score makes him a potential fit alongside players like Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey. Despite being undersized, Sasser possesses the tenacity and toughness that Detroit values in their players. The Pistons saw something special in Sasser that prompted them to move up in the draft to secure him. While it's not entirely clear what that specific quality is, it indicates their belief in his potential. However, his lack of height at 6'1" and limited playmaking skills might limit his appeal as a traditional point guard at the NBA level. Additionally, his defensive weaknesses could make him a target for opposing teams. I question the Pistons' decision to choose Sasser over other options such as wing players like Ben Shepherd, Nick Smith Jr., or Bryce Sensabaugh, with the team already having a strong guard presence with players like Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, and recent draftee Asar Thompson. The selection of Sasser appears surprising. Detroit could have benefited from adding a wing shooter, especially considering the available talent on the board. Nevertheless, Detroit recognized Sasser's qualities as an older guard, emphasizing his defensive intensity and scoring confidence. Given the team's young roster with players like Cunningham, Ivey, and Killian Hayes, the decision to invest in another guard raises eyebrows, which is why this pick gets a C. The 26th pick in the draft, selected by the Indiana Pacers, Ben Shepherd, gets a B+. Ben's ability to knock down shots, especially on the move, aligns perfectly with the Pacers' style of play. While his free throw shooting is a minor concern, his defensive prowess has been outstanding throughout his college career. With Shepherd on the board, Pacers have addressed another need and acquired future assets in the process. Shepard's contribution to the team goes beyond his shooting skills. He seamlessly fits into the Pacers' second unit and provides instant scoring off the bench. He understands his role and doesn't try to do too much on the court. And basketball IQ make him a reliable finisher, especially when paired with Tyrese Haliburton. In the absence of Haliburton, Shepard can also take on a facilitating role. Shepard's rise on the draft boards can be attributed to his impressive athleticism showcased at the NBA Draft Combine and his strong performances in pre-draft workouts. Standing at 6'6", his sharpshooting ability from beyond the arc immediately adds value to the Pacers. His ability to stretch the floor and provide additional spacing enhances the team's perimeter shooting options. Overall, the Pacers made a smart decision in selecting Ben Sheppard at number 26. His skills as a pure shooter, high basketball IQ, and defensive capabilities make him a valuable addition to the team. With his ability to contribute right away, the Pacers will benefit greatly from his perimeter shooting and energy on the court, earning this pick a B+. The 27th pick in the draft, selected by the Charlotte Hornets, Nick Smith Jr., gets an A. As the number 1 player in the 2022 high school recruiting class, Smith reunites with his former grassroots teammate, Brandon Miller, presenting an opportunity for high upside potential. Although his college performance was hindered by a knee injury and defensive concerns, addressing these issues could unlock the skills of this talented scoring-oriented guard. Considering the Hornets' need for upside, taking a calculated risk on Smith was a sensible decision. While his one-and-done season fell short of expectations due to injury and inefficiency, there is room for improvement. By refining his shot selection and adding strength to his 6'5", 185-pound frame, Smith has the opportunity to realign his trajectory. Moreover, the Hornets possess the patience required to wait for his development. At his peak, he exhibited elusive scoring abilities with deep shooting range, live dribble passing, and willingness to contribute defensively. At full health, his skill set as a quick ball handler, proficient scorer with a variety of moves, and emerging passing ability remains promising. Although his smaller stature may raise defensive concerns, a full recovery could prove this selection to be a significant steal for the Hornets. Passing on Henderson at the 2nd pick, the Hornets ultimately secured Smith Jr., initially projected as the top collegiate prospect in this draft. If the Hornets give him the proper time to recover, since they're in no rush to win, Smith Jr. could end up being one of the better players in this draft, which is why I gave this pick an A. The 28th pick in the draft, selected by the Utah Jazz, Bryce Sensabaugh, gets a B. From day one, Sensabaugh brings significant scoring ability to the table, although there are concerns about his impact on winning due to his team's struggles in the past. While his defensive contributions have been limited, he has the potential to be a valuable asset as a movement shooter in the right system. The Jazz, who have prioritized perimeter shooting in this draft, have made a strong move by acquiring Sensabaugh alongside other promising young shooters. His ability to score efficiently from the outside and in between areas is a standout trait. However, it is crucial for him to expand his game beyond scoring and improve his defensive engagement, considering his physical attributes. Despite these limitations, the Jazz's strong frontcourt defense could compensate for Sensabaugh's shortcoming, especially if he can provide scoring barrages on the offensive end. Although there were some concerns about his knee health and defensive skills, Sensabaugh remains one of the top shooters in this draft. Standing at 6'6" as an off-ball guard, he possesses an impressive ability to knock down three-pointers consistently and has a lethal mid-range pull-up game. If Sensabaugh can fully recover and regain his health, the Jazz have secured a great talent with their late first-round pick, which is why this pick gets a B. 29th pick in the draft, selected by the Denver Nuggets, Julian Strawther, gets a C. While his defensive abilities may be lacking, Nuggets were focused on acquiring plug-and-play additions to their roster, following their recent success and the anticipation of potential cap casualties. Strawther's offensive skills make him an immediate fit for the team, especially with his exceptional shooting ability. His shooting form is flawless, evident from his impressive 40.8% from three-point arc this past season. However, it's crucial for Strawther to excel in his shooting, since he doesn't offer much else on the court. His athleticism is limited, and defensive concerns could arise both on and off the ball. Nevertheless, the Nuggets are already loaded with talent. See the value of Strawther's sharp shooting as a valuable asset in a niche support role. This draft pick follows their successful acquisition of Christian Braun in the previous year, further solidifying their commitment to finding skilled upperclassmen who can contribute immediately. Strawther's lethal shooting from beyond the arc is expected to thrive alongside playmakers like Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. Standing at 6'7", Strawther brings size and accuracy to the team, making him an ideal win-now contributor on an affordable contract. Although he may not be a playmaker, the Nuggets recognize the importance of adding a reliable shooter to their lineup, especially with Jokic leading the charge. While Julian may contribute to the reigning champions, there were some better options at the spot that could provide defense, such as Colby Jones, which is why I give this pick a C. Lastly, the 30th pick in the draft, selected by the Los Angeles Clippers, Kobe Brown, gets a C. While Brown is a skilled upperclassman who aligns with the team's win-now mentality, this pick feels like it could have been made later in the draft. Standing at an imposing 6'8" and 250 pounds, Brown possesses the size and strength to defend and shoot effectively. His improvements as a shooter from 25% to an impressive 45% three-point shooter in his senior year shows his potential as a stretch forward with offensive versatility. However, it remains uncertain how many of his skills translate to the NBA level, as he lacks a dominant aspect to his game, especially with his size. While he played a physical style in college, it may not be as effective against NBA defenders. The key to Brown's success will heavily rely on his outside shooting, as he showcased promise with a 45.5% three-point percentage from beyond the arc, albeit on a relatively small sample size. If his shooting remains consistent, he could contribute meaningful minutes in the upcoming season. Otherwise, he might struggle to stand out among the Clippers' deep wing rotation, which is why I give this C-. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end and you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Comment on what you guys think about this year's draft, who are your favorite selections, or anything relating to this topic. Let's get a great basketball conversation started. I'll see you guys on the next video and have a blessed day. Peace.